Hi, it's Candy. Welcome to The Art of Planning, where we plan powerful, pretty, and on purpose. We wrap all of those things together and then we just have a pretty good time with our planning. So today it's kind of all about pretty, although that's also going to be functional, and it's going to be tag your it. Several days ago, I just got the notion to play with some tags. They are going to be purposeful, and I'll show you that as we go along. Gosh, all of a sudden it seemed like I was shouting at you, so I apologize if it seemed that way to you too. Okay, so actually I was inspired by some tags that I saw when I was out shopping, except they were all done in craft paper, but then they had part of each one of them glittered with a glitter overlay, kind of. So I decided I was going to come home and play with that. Now, I was also inspired with some other things, and I think I'll just show you that as we go along so you can kind of see where inspiration comes from. It was this time a year ago that I did my first ever pretty planning for the holidays. So this is kind of my second one. So I have a whole year's of experience behind me. I think that just kind of allows you to feel a little freer with what you're doing. I don't know that it necessarily makes it any easier, but it gives you some ideas of ways to go. It probably gives you a little bit more freedom. So as you all know, this is my Franklin Giotta Lavender planner. Franklins are my very, very favorite. You know that if you've watched any of the other videos. So here's what she looks like all dressed up for the holidays. So all of my color scheme is the lavender, the pink, the gold. This collection is from Kaiser Craft. It's Christmas Wishes. I'm not going to go any farther than that, okay? Because it's all in other videos. You can watch those. You know what, I think I'm going to move this for just a minute. I will put it back in frame when we get to a couple of the other things. So I just wanted to do some tags. I do normally keep several tags up here in this pocket area. This in the back, I'll probably tuck one of those in there also because there's definitely room for it. This doesn't have all of the different slots for decorative purposes or even functional purposes. This doesn't have it back here, but this is a real fun place to work, and you can keep lots of functional things there or lots of pretty things here. So I did my tags in a couple of different sizes. I just measured some that I had on hand from other companies that were all done, and then I just made templates so I don't have to continuously decide about that all the time. So here is, and I also used the Kaiser Craft 12 by 12 pad, and I also used the 6.5 inch paper pad in the same design, which was wonderful. I don't always buy the whole set of everything. As a matter of fact, normally I don't. I'm so glad I did on these. It worked perfectly. Within this, there is a selection of borders. I've used a lot of this, guys. There were cards that I could use. The borders were real nice. I tore them out. I don't know if I brought them in here or not to show you, but the borders were wonderful. The 6.5 inch papers were wonderful, especially as I was doing a smaller scale. The other thing I got when I decided to do this was this glitter paper pad from Recollection. So that's from Michaels, and these were amazing to work with. There were an ombre effect on all of them, so they went from darker to lighter, and they had them in almost all the colors that I was working with. So they're like pink, the purple with the ombre. So this was just like having several different colors with the ombre. There was the green in two colors actually. So this was kind of a mint ombre. This was a darker green. They had it in the gold. Let me tell you, I used this stuff, and I actually repurchased another one of these just not too long ago because I want to have this on hand all the time. The other thing that I purchased and used a lot of was I used the die cuts for these. This is an unopened package. I bought a couple of sets of the die cuts. Loved using those for little bookmarks. So here we go, okay? Back to my tags. The other thing I did on the tags is I double-sided both of them. And my big reason for that is because I get bored kind of easily, so I thought as long as I'm doing one side, why don't I just flip it over and I'll be able to just, you know, didn't take much longer to do two sides than one. So I made all of them double-sided. Okay, so there is just one selection. I don't know, that's not going to read very well. Here, let's do that, okay? So I just used some cardstock for this pink. I used a white glitter paper. Now this did have to come from somebody else. White was not in my sparkle paper that I just showed you. And then the other things I used were some white snowflakes. That was a punch. I can't remember. Is this an Echo Punch? I can't remember for sure. But I used this little snowflake punch. Loved that. And then these are actually, the smaller pieces are actually little sequin pieces. So I was literally using scraps. And then that's the other side of it. This was just a sheet of, this was from the 6.5 inch paper pad. You can tell by the scale of it. So that worked beautifully for those pieces. Sparkly washi for the pink, and then the Christmas was from the die cuts. And I love that. This was my very favorite pattern in any of them, okay? So that was one of the tags. Here is another one. Again, paper from the 6.5 sheet, because the size of everything is kind of shrunken down, and it just worked perfectly for this tag. Used a couple different kinds of washi, and then I have a tree punch that's from last year. Of course, you can use it infinitely, so just put the sparkle purple on that. And then I did some other trees on the back. That's a different Christmas punch, that skinny tree. And then I just decided to put some little pieces on that. You know, that's one of those pieces that is kind of done too much, but it's so fun. So there were no limits. I was just playing. Can't hurt anything on these, and I was just playing, so I had fun with that one. This became one of my favorite pieces of paper to work with. I loved this white. Now I went in, and in the middle of it I did some of this, what's it called, glitter glue? Yeah, glitter glue. And that's a Ranger product. And can you see? I just put a dab in the middle of each one of those. And I just think it's fun and funky and almost retro, which was fun also. This is a border that was on one of the sheets of paper in the larger pad. So, I mean, in this pad, you got everything. So I love the way that turned out. And then this was just a sheet from the 6.5 again, because the size was so good. And then I went in and glitter glued dots here and there in different places. And this is a much more simplistic design. Loved it, loved it. Okay, here's a couple more. Went a little crazier on this one. Just had fun with it. I also put some little sequin pieces on this. Just kind of hand glued those. There's a kind of trick to that I learned, I don't know, a while back. It had nothing to do with paper art, planner art, but it works for it very well. This is a piece of washi. A lot of you probably know that, have those. It has nothing to do with Christmas, but it worked real well with the color combination. And on this side, I originally didn't care for Santa. He kind of looks like an old world Santa though, and I think with this sheet of the gold glitter, which is almost a burnished color, and then with this and that old Santa, I think again we get that retro, old-fashioned, possibly even vintage look, and I ended up really liking that. Okay, I am going to have to hurry. This is a doily sheet out of the paper, again, the 6.5 sheet, and I just went in and put some dots of glitter paper in the doily. And this, I don't know if you can see it or not, this says Merry Christmas, and it was a punch out part of one of the sheets, and I think it was in the smaller pad, and I went in and glitter glued on top of that. And again, I think it looks real retro. I tried on purpose not to make it real clean and real even, and again, thought it ended up looking retro, and really kind of love that. And then just did this back here. I'll probably go in and glitter the circles of that. So that's all of them of that size. Then here are a couple of the sizes that are a little bit larger. Again, my favorite piece of paper in the whole group, and I just put a piece of vellum on top of it. On most of the sheets, I went in here and put this little golden, that goes around the rings. What are they called? You guys know. I can't think of it right now. And then on the other side, I just used a couple patterns of paper together. Here's another one. Just use a couple pieces of paper together. I colored doilies, some washi paper, and this is a purple lace effect. And then I added a couple kinds of washi, and again, this was a strip of paper that it had several different long pieces of paper you could coordinate. So I just cut those apart. Love this one right here and used that. The paper was, no kidding, fabulous. It was really wonderful. I like that tag really well. And then here's another one of my favorites. Just use the doily and the warmest wishes on the back here. That was kind of fun. But then over here, I did kind of a 3-in-1 where I just stacked 3 different tags on top of each other and really had fun with that. Okay, now the other thing that I wanted to show you is I had used one of these and showed you one of these in here before. I don't know if it's in here right now or not, but I went ahead and made a couple of other page markers while I was doing this. And on the page markers, if you have watched the previous video and remember any of my dividers, any of my markers, anything like that, I do them where they will stand up above Oh, I'm going to have to trim that off a little bit right there. So anyway, this one is designed to where when I get this cleaned up down there, it's going to be punched in there and it will show on top of this. So my page markers are always taller than anything else. So I made that one. Again, on the back, I did some doily sheets. This doily has a heart on it, so I just used that heart theme and then put some more glitter pieces on it. And then this one, I took that feel of the tags that I had seen. I used some of the glitter paper at an angle down here, used some of the skinny trees, which I adore those skinny trees. And then on back, just left this evergreen pattern and then added some of the green sparkly paper and then a little bit of ribbon trim to that, and that too. Let's see if I did better over here, guys. There we go. That also will go like that as a page marker, so you will be able to see that above. And then I'll fix this one up and it'll go in there too. I love the color of that gold. It's just kind of antique-y and fun. The other couple of things that I did a few more clips. I just wanted to do some, see if I liked them, had fun with them. These are a little more challenging for me insofar as being really creative. These were out of the die cuts. So I actually sprayed them with some, well, I showed it to you in my favorites for October, with some oh, I am just so at a loss for words. Anyway, it was like a spray that had just a shimmer, the slightest shimmer to it. So, and just put those back to back on this clip. Then I went in and added just a little bit of the glitter glue paint and some of that. I mean, it's no big deal. That's those of you guys that make real clips are the ones I'm impressed with, though. Here's the old Santa, and I just thought he was kind of fun too as a clip. So I'm going to be set up with clips, I think. No, I won't, because I already know some more that I want from you guys. Here's a Merry and Bright, has little snowflakes on it. And then he's tied with just a little bit of the tinsel ribbon. And then here's just one more of the ornaments. And I've glitter glued some things for him. So they're all double-sided also, just because I like when you turn them. When you're turning the page, I like where you get a clean view front and back on the clips. That's just, I mean, that's just my personal preference. So those kind of finish up probably all of my artsy type crafts for my holiday binder. I hope that it helped maybe give you some ideas, that you have fun with it. Golly, I've stuttered and stammered during this one. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. You know that the thumbs up are important. You know that those of you that are subscribed, I just appreciate you so much. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that button. Share this with your friends, and tune in next time, because I will see you soon on another video, okay? Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Bye.